Hello friends, welcome to Selenium Automation Testing. So in this video I'm going to explain about the page object model. So I'm going to explain about the page object model. So generally we will write down the XPath in a different way. So driver dot find element by dot XPath. So in this way we can write it. But whenever we are writing the XPath, so here we are performing action and operation method. You can see it. So here I am performed driver dot find element by dot XPath and dot send keys. So this is the operation. So according to our test case, we are performing these operations. If it is switch to frames, we will switch to frame and click it. So like that. So here normal way we can write like this. But if any of the XPath changes, it would be a problem. So because again want to suppose if I have a 100 uh, suppose if I have a 300 lines of code, then it would be a problem. Again I need to change the entire code. So instead of changing the entire code, we will maintain in a organized way. So here we will divide this one into two part. So this is the identification method. So driver dot find element by dot XPath. So this is how we identify the method. Second one is the operation method. So in this way, by following this principle, I'm writing the page object model so that all the XPath I will write down here, and below I will write down the actions methods. By combining this, I'm going to write down a test case. So by using this way, it would be really helpful for maintenance purpose. It would be helpful. Any of the XPath has element has been changed dynamically. So in real time, we have an application. In that application, developer may change. So any of the new element comes, he may change XPath. So there we will write down the XPath, and we will write down the only we will change on the XPath so that it would be helpful. Code also will be reduced and it would be easy to maintain, so that for maintenance purpose also it would be really helpful. So that is how I'm going to use it. So here I'm going to write down a sign in page. I'm going to write down a search page. I'm going to write a select product page. So these are the five different pages I'm going to write down, and I'm going to maintain a one test case so that it would be helpful for. So these are the five pages I'm going to create: manage page, search page. So in this way I'm going to maintain. So end to end flow I'm going to cover for a e-commerce domain. So these are the. So these are the five domains I'm going to cover. So pages will be there in separate class and testers will be in their separate class. So that we will execute in that way. Okay. So here I have a card. I'm going to take in a. This is the. So I'm going to cover end to end e-commerce domains are login, homepage, search page. So here I have written the XPath according to it. Then I'm going to performing an actions. So below these are the actions. So these are the actions and XPath I have written above. So at the rate find by, this is how I'm writing the XPath. So this is the login page. For that login page, I have written the XPath, and this is a constructor. So have a class name and method name. So here I want to initialize a WebDriver, but I have written in a so public static WebDriver. So base class I have taken in the base class I have defining all the methods to launch a app. So for launching app I am using WebDriver manager dot Chrome driver dot setup. So dynamically no need to it will earlier we used to write down like WebDriver equal to new Chrome driver. So in this way system dot set property. So we have written like this system dot set property. Like that we have here we have defined the location of an particular driver where we have written. But now I'm not using in this way. I'm following this way. So this is how I'm following. So that it would be helpful for everybody. So now I'm going to execute a method. So this is how I have defined the WebDriver managed Chrome driver setup and browser will be launched. So here I have taken the WebDriver. So this is an instance variable I have globally I have defined so that I can use here also. For the login page I have defined a constructor. You can see constructor at class name. So I'm using page factory dot init elements so that that particular driver want to be execute. For that purpose I'm doing it. And below I have written the method and actions I have written. So whatever the actions I want to perform. So here I'm going to click on this account and I want to click on this sign in link. Then I want to enter my username and my enter my password. After that one I'm going to select an particular product. After selecting a product I'm on after selecting a product, so I'm going to select a product like this. After sign in I'm going to it, I will select this particular product. Then I will click on this particular product. Then I will add to cart. Then I am going to, after adding the cart, I'm going to click on proceed to buy. So these are the five actions I'm going to perform. So I'm going to click on this link. This end-to-end flow I have written in a page object model. So this is what I'm going to perform here. So let's jump to the here. So we have a method here, action driver. So in this action driver, I have all the methods related to my methods. So I need to supply these methods. So here we have a JavaScript executor actions like the when we want to click on that particular element, I have the method. So now I am going to here I have written a method mouse over to element. So here I have written a method to mouse over to element. So why I'm writing here is so I want to click on this. I want to mouse over here. Then the sign in link would be opened. So for this purpose, I have written a method called mouse over the element. Here I'm passing the web element and So here I'm passing the only web element. So only XPath I'm passing here. So I'm passing in a parameter in here. XPath passing in a parameter. And I have taken in a methods like try and catch block, so that whenever any exception occur, it will go to here, and this particular block will be executed. If I have any exception, this will be executed. If the both of the blocks are not executed, then it would be executed. So in this way, I have written a method so that it would be really helpful for my page. So that is the main intention. So that's why I have written a here mouse or element and clicking on it. And I have written a method for click method also. You can see it. So here for clicking of that particular element, I have taken in this way. So in this way, but I'm going to. So I will go and check here. So different ways of clicking of a method here we have written. So in this way, I can do it, perform it. So here I have a method for clicking click on method. This is JavaScript executor. So here I have used in a click method like this. So generally we can use in a different way. So here I have taken a clicking of an element in this way, so that it would be helpful to execute my test case. So later I have taken a method called send keys method. So if you go to this method, so this is the send keys method. So have you so after clicking on this, after clicking on sign in link, then I want to enter my email. For that email I want to pass it. So for login purpose I'm using send keys. In this send keys I'm using a web element. So here I'm passing the driver I'm passing. So XPath I'm passing. XPath and value also I'm passing. So these are the two things I've taken in a parameter. So these are the two things I have taken. So these are the two things I have taken and I have written in a way. So try and catch block, but here I have written a return type, so that if this if it send a value, then it should true. It should execute this block. If it is not executed, then it should execute this block. So it will return a value. So it will supply to this method. Then the particular block will be executed. So that is the main intention here. So these are the methods I have written, and this is the purpose. But one more thing I have written is in, so here I'm returning a home page, so that after entering the next page want to be open. So for that purpose I have written a home page. So here I have defined a return type. So in Java we can So in Java, we can return a methods also. Suppose I have a sample class. If I return a sample value, so I have taken another value also. Make twice is a method. So I'm returning this particular value so that whenever I want to execute the another method also. So here I have a return type so that this particular value will be executed. That is the main purpose. So here I have a return a method and a return type have supplied so that it would be useful to helpful to get a for another method that particular value would be get. So that is the purpose. So same principle I am also applying here. So returning a page. So home page, that is a main purpose. So let's go to jump to the XPath. So I have written a XPath for this page. So I'm going to take on this all this XPath. So here it is highlighting this. So here it is highlighting. So I have taken this is the XPath I have taken. For this is a span link. So that's why I have taken like this span tag and the accounts equal to list. So in this way I have taken accounts and lists. So here it is highlighting, right. So this is the XPath I have followed it. Later I have click on this sign in link. So for sign in link I have written a XPath. So I have to mouse over it. Then I have to go to here. So I have taken a XPath here. For sign in, so this one I want to sign in. So for that purpose. So when I mouse over, I want to execute this method. So you can see it. So this is the XPath I have taken to get on that particular element. So you can see it the XPath. So it is highlighting, right. So this is highlighting. So this is the XPath I have taken. Later I have click on this sign in button. I have entered the username and password. So this is the principle I have followed. So let's execute this particular test case so that it would be executed. So later I have taken the home page. So after that one here I am returning the cart page. So right, okay. And one more thing, so this is the principle I have followed. So in this add product, after that one, it I want to go to the cart page. So that's why I have returning the cart page. So returning another way. So let's this is the folder where I want to all execute all the test cases. After login, I want to execute home page. After home page, I want to execute the cart page. So in the cart case, I will select the particular product. So already I have explained, right. So now I'm going to execute this particular test case. Okay. So I'm going to running it. It is taking a time to execute my page. So browser is launched. So then it will maximize. You can see it, right? So then browser it is launched. Click on sign in. Click on enter the password. After clicking on click on sign in button. Later it is going to mouse over it. So it's enter the iPhone product. Then it's going to click on this particular product. Then here it will click on add to cart button. So then it will click on to proceed to checkout. So this is how end to end flow I have written so that it would be useful to get an particular element. So this is the process I followed. Okay, this is the process I have followed. Now it is also executed. So that is the overall flow, guys. So but when I click on this particular link, so here when I click on to it, it's open in a new window. So right, it's open in a new window. So for that purpose, I am taken in a method called so launch new window. So this is the launching of window. It will get a Windows handling. Then I have taken the iterator method. Then I have written. So switching off this particular window. So switch. It will switch to the another window, right? So whenever I click on this iPhone link, it will navigate it to another window. It's open. So for that purpose, I've used this method to handle this one. So it will click to that particular method, then it will search switch to this particular window, then it would be executed. So for that purpose, I have used this method. I have taken the iterator so that it will navigate to another window, then it will switch. So this is the action I have performed. So another so here it will when I click on this one, it will open to proceed to checkout. Here we have a 5 frames. So here I have to switch to the 6 frame. Then I have executed the proceed to checkout link. So this is the purpose. These are the this is how I have automated the cart page. After entering the in the cart page, I have written the all the methods switch to frame ID. So this is the how. Here I have switched to that particular frame and I have written the frame XPath. So switch to a particular ID and then for that particular ID, I have written the value. So I have taken the this method. So I have taken the this method. So this is how I have executed this end-to-end flow like this. So this is how I have executed this flow. And one more things I have taken for login. I have for login method I have used this get property method so that yeah, to get all the XPath I have taken in this way. Not XPath. So username and password configuration files I have set here. So this is how configuration property. For this configuration property, I have used this particular method. So you can see it, right. So this is the particular method I have used it to execute the particular to get the username and password. So thanks. So this is the end-to-end flow for page object model. I have written it, and only thing here it is returning to another page. So this is the main concept here. So linking for another page, it's very difficult. So that linking of another page, that is very difficult. So that is what I have followed here. So have go to login page. I have written a new home page so that in this page would be switched. After switching this page, cart page will be executed. So that is the overall. So this is the action class. In this action class, I have written all the methods that are required for my XPaths. For my not my XPath, for my automation purpose. So when you click on this particular element, when you click visibility of the particular element, when you want to mouse over, when you want to switch to default content, switch to frame, switch to particular index, uh, when you want to click to JavaScript executor, select by visible text. So for drop down elements, so like that end to end I have written the actions class so that it would be useful for everyone, so that it would be useful for my framework point of view. So that is how I have performed all of these things. Switch to frame, switch to default content, title, visibility of the particular element, like that all methods I have added. So this is the test case. In the here I have written before method and after method. This is the overall flow I have followed in this particular page. So writing in a pages and executing this method. So thanks for watching this video.